name of Jesus Christ.
Amen.
Father, this night we ask that as we go through this class, please be with us. Give us the perfect understanding that we need. Help us, Lord in heaven, that we will learn, that our ministries might be fulfilled and not blamed in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Thank you, Ancient of Days. In
Thank you, Lord.
Jesus' mighty name, we have prayed.
Amen.
Amen. All right. God bless you. Just to remind you again that this video is on YouTube, and so it will be available shortly after this class. So if there is anything you don't understand, you can still watch it again. And when you go to the YouTube channel, please try to subscribe, because when you subscribe, you will get the link directly sent to your phone. Whenever we are live like this, you will get this link directly sent to your phone. Okay, I'm going to visit our last study, the last class we had. And for those of you that are joining in today for the very first time, I don't know if we have enough time to do a recap of what we did the previous classes we've had. Maybe I should just try and do a quick recap on what we have done so far.
Okay, sir. God
So we
bless you.
started by defining music, and we were able to establish that music is, the definition has been a combination of sounds. But we were able to understand far better that music is not just a combination of sounds, but it is the combination of sounds that make sense. Sounds that are regulated, sounds that are time-based. So some of you, I can hear some. Okay, mute your microphones, please. Mute your microphones. Turn off your microphones, please. Thank you very much. Yeah, we are advancing. I can see that we are getting very used to this. God bless you. So, there is not every sound that is music in nature or music inclined. There are some sounds that are noise. There are sounds that don't make sense. So you cannot actually call every sound music. I cited an example. If your power generating set is on, it makes a sound. And sometimes, the consistency, the nature of its consistency makes it that if you combine that consistency with other sounds that are also consistent and regular with the moving of that sound of the generating set, it can produce music. Now, but the sound of generator alone is not music in nature. Now, sometimes, children can gather together and begin to beat cans, empty cans. If those noise are coordinated enough, that will become music. So music is a combination of sounds that are regulated, and that makes sense, that is pleasant to the ear. Now, and music is time-based. That is why we have all that we have about music. And we try to define music as a science and as an art, A-R-T, science and art. Now, we told ourselves by the definition that the art part of music is the performance, aspect of music. When we perform, we are practicing the art. Now, who is a performer? A performer can be a singer, just like you and I. When we stand on the stage, we are performing. We are standing there as music artists. So that's a time of performing, singing, playing instruments. That is the time, the aspect of the artistry in music. Now, the
Please,
science
sir.
side of it has, okay.
Please, sir. This one said that music is the art of is art, part of music, is practical. Please, can you explain more?
Music, we said, is both, it has science and art part of it. ART, as in art.
Yes.
Then I said that the art, the aspect of it being an art, is that aspect of it being performed. Like when we stand on the stage to sing, we are performing. So that makes you an artist at that time. So that is the art part of music. So somebody who is playing music instrument like piano, drums, oboe, flute, guitar, those are also artists. At that point in time, they are performing. So every musician that stands out to play the music, sing the song, at that point of that duty being dispensed, that person is performing the art side of music. Do you get it now?
Yes, sir.
So the science part of it is why we are here now. And just as the art side of it is very important, the science part of it is very, very, very important, because the science part of music gives aid to the perfect part of the art. If the science part of it is not well understood, the knowledge is not acquired, the performance will be flawed. The performance will not be up to the standard that probably is expected. So the science part of it is the knowledge of music. Now, the science part of it has to do with you knowing the rudiments of music, knowing what music is all about. Composition also has to do with the science, but there are those who compose without adequate knowledge of music. They just compose and they go out to perform while they are bereft of the knowledge of the science part of it. And so when they give a certain tune, they don't know what it is, because the science part of it, they are not well acquainted with it. So music has to do with science and arts. And in the science part of it, I explained that it is the knowledge, the knowing of it. The art part of it is the performing. Now, it's like, when a furniture maker goes behind the scenes and begins to put things together, that thing that he is doing, actually, when he finishes it and brings it out to the to showcase to the people, you wouldn't know the process he went through. So I can liken the science of music as, the workmanship who took time to learn about the doing and the knowing, the knowledge on how to put these things together, so that when the finished product is displayed to the public, it becomes very, very attractive to those who will view it in the showcase. All right, your phone that you're using now to view this gathering has the science part of it, which is the combination of the parts that made it look like that. You are just handling the finished product. You're just handling the finished product. So music is like that. Music must be known. Music must be understood. And so when you understand music, then you can boldly come out to the stage. And when you see people who know music very well, who know both the science and they are also performing the performance aspect of it, you see that whatever they do fall in place. So that is the brief explanation that I have to do on that. And secondly, from there, we moved on to the staff or the staves. We talked about unfortunately, I don't know if you can be able to view this thing, but let me try and share my screen with you here. We talked about the staves or the staff, the staves and the notes. I'm taking this time so that those of us who were not here from the beginning, please make sure you watch the video of our past classes.
Okay.
After now, please make sure you do that.
Okay,
That will
sir.
help you a lot. All right. So I'm going to share my screen with you here.
Okay.
Beginning from what we did previously on lines and spaces. So this is actually going to make this class a bit longer than what I thought it should be. But that is no problem as long as we have the grace to do that. So here, can you see my screen? My screen is changing.
Let me see.
What once it's changed from you seeing my camera to something else, let me know.
It have changed.
It
Okay,
have
very good.
changed.
Okay, now can you see the lines? It might be a bit fainty to you there, but
Yes.
you can see the lines here. Now
Mm.
these are the 5 lines. These are the 5 lines on the stave or the staff of music. Now when you have these lines that okay, Sister Ngozi, thank you. When you have these 5 lines and there is nothing here. Now these are lines that don't make sense. They don't make sense. They are just lines, 5 parallel lines and 4 spaces. And so in the process of teaching, even while you have the notes here, can you see the 5 notes here placed in on the lines?
Yes.
Very good. Now, if you also look below, you will see spaces, 6 notes placed
Yes.
in the spaces. Now, as they are here, they are not making sense. They don't make sense at all. Something must define these lines that you have here before these notes make sense. And so now we have the treble clef. The treble clef is this design that you have here. You can see it, this thing here. Can you see where my cursor is hovering about? Let me
Yes.
annotate it. Okay. All right. My mouse. Okay. So this thing here is the treble clef. So once the treble clef comes here, like you can see now here, it automatically changes the the values of the lines and spaces that you had here. Is no more this thing that you see here. This singular artwork that is placed here automatically changes the status of these 5 lines and 4 spaces. And so we call this thing the treble clef. And in other words, it is also called the G clef. It's called the G clef because these lines and spaces actually have names, and their names are represented with 7 of the English 7 of the English words alphabet, 7 words in the English alphabet, 7 of them from A to G. And I remember I told those that were in the class that music has 7 of those letters in the English alphabet. Now you have A to G, and there is no H. Once you count from A, you get to G, you go back to A. So once this clef is placed, I wish I can get it where it is clearer. Hold on, let me find out if I can get it where it is clearer. Once the clef is placed on the second line, that second line, because that clef is called the G clef. So the positioning of it matters a lot. And there is a way it is placed around the second line. And the lines are counted and numbered from the lowest to the topmost. The lowest to the topmost. So it means that the first line from down, from the bottom, is the number 1 line. So it ascends till it gets to the 5th line. And so also the spaces are equally numbered like that. And so when the what do you call it now? When the clef is placed like that. Oh, unfortunately, I don't have the pictures here, but it's like I've deleted the pictures.
Now
Something
go
is
on,
wrong.
go on, go on. We understand what you're saying.
Okay, very good. So once this thing is placed in the second on the second line,
yeah.
it defines it as the G.
Oh, Zoom.
Juliet, I hear him. You are talking. Please mute your microphone, please. So here, this makes it. This translates the lines and spaces to treble clef, and so the second line is the G line G. Then if it is G and we are counting from A to G, then it means that the bottom line is E, the space is F. The second line is G. The space after the second line is A. The third line is B. The space after the third line is C. The fourth line is D. The space after the third line is E. And so the last one, which is the fifth line, is F. All right. So this you will get tons of it explained in the video when you watch it, so that we don't dwell so much on that.
Fine.
And so from there we talked about the lines and the spaces, and then we went to talk about the bass clef as well, the bass staff, which is what you have here, the bass staff. Oh. The bass staff is also called the F clef. The F staff, the bass clef is also called the F clef because it is usually drawn around the F. And I told the people in the class that day that the difference between the treble staff and the bass clef staff is that everything on the treble staff is a step lower on the bass staff. And so while on the treble staff, you have the fifth line as F. On the bass staff, you have the fourth line as the F line. And that is why this thing is called F clef, because it is carefully, strewn around the F line. The head is hooked around the F line, and you see the two dots behind it, that the two dots are sandwiching the F line, the fourth line, which is the F line. So it is actually called the F clef or the bass clef, and that defines the bass staff. So that and lots more you get to find in the video that that we have done and have available and ready for you to watch on the YouTube channel. So there we have had some assignments which some persons have submitted theirs and some have not submitted theirs. And so from there we went to time names of notes, which I will briefly share with us now before we now go immediately over to what we have today. Okay. So here we are. Hold on, please. Yeah, here we have I need to start this slideshow first. Okay. I don't know. Can you see my screen? Did the screen change at your own from your own point there? Can you see a different screen?
Yes, sir.
Or are you still seeing the same one you saw before?
Yes.
It's a different screen.
Is still the same one that you saw before?
No.
No,
It's another one.
Okay, very,
You
very good.
cannot.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So let me start the slideshow now. Please, you can help by muting your microphone, please. So we came to this place. Time names of notes. From semiquavers to, I don't know why it's disappearing. From semiquavers to semibriefs, and we were able to. Sorry, I don't know why I'm having blank screen. Okay, all right.
Hello, what's showing on the screen now is sharps and flats. Have you?
Sharps and flats. Okay.
Yeah, that's
How about
accidentals.
now?
Still the same thing.
What
Accidentals.
can you see now, sir?
It's still the same thing.
Same thing.
Hmm.
Sharp and flat.
Okay. I think it's loading. Okay, maybe I should just stop the share and let me go back to. Okay, impressive. We have 20 persons tonight. Okay, let me go back to share it again. So tell me what you can see now, please.
Nothing is showing yet.
It's yet to come. It's yet to display.
Okay, it's loading.
It's loading.
The time names of notes, okay. It's still.
Okay, have you seen it?
Time names of notes.
Oh, okay, very good, very good. That is what I want to share with us again, because I really want us to take time here. So, for those of you that were not there, I know some of you may know about crochets, quavers, semi-quavers, semi-briefs, but those are the note names given by the Britons. UK gave them those names. Then, but the Americans have a way of dealing with things, just like the shape notes that we have. The shape notes that we have, it was Americans that brought it. So they have a way of trying to simplify things, So the Britons gave those notes the names that they bear, and the Americans try to simplify them by, giving them the names that suits their timing in music. So these notes and the designs, the shape they have, are designed to show how long, differently, they are there to show how long notes should be held for, how long they should be drawn. Most notes are made up of notes head. It is just one of them that is the semi-brief that doesn't have a stem. So here we are. We're going to look at the crochet. You are familiar with this, I'm sure. You have seen this. But if you are a chorister, you must have seen this. This is the crochet. Now, the crochet is called crochet by the Britons, but the Americans call it the quarter note. Quarter note. And the quarter note is one beat. One beat is classed as one beat. And these are the parts. The note head, which is black head, and then the stem or the stick. Now, from here, you move to the quavers. The quavers are called quavers by the Britons, and Americans call it the eighth note. The eighth note. And the difference between the quaver and the crochet is that the quavers have tail. This is the tail. This is the tail or flag. This is it. Just like the crochet has black head and a stem. So also quavers, they too have black heads and a stem, but the difference now is that it has a tail. So this is the uniqueness about the quiver that sets it apart from the crochet. Now from there, you have the minims. The minims are called half notes, or the minims. The Britons call it uh, minim, and the Americans gave it half notes. And this half note is twice as long as a crochet. That means that if a crochet is 1 beat, then a minim is 2 beats. I forgot to talk about the uh, the beats in a quiver. A quiver is 2 quavers equivalent to 1 crochet. So it means that in a crochet, you have 2 quavers. And so if you are to sing a crochet, for instance, in 2 seconds, that means a quiver will be sung in 1 second. 2 quavers will be sung at the same time range that you are allotted to a crochet. Now, the same thing is applicable to a minim and a crochet. If a minim is to be sung in 2 seconds, then a crochet must be sung in 1 second. Then 2 crochets must be finished within 2 seconds, because 2 crochets are equal to a minim. And so now look at the minim. The minim has a note head, but the note head now is quite different from what you have in the crochet. The minim has a white head, white note head, white note head. You can see the hollow, that he has. So this sets it apart. This makes it unique, different from the crochet. But you see that in appearance, they almost look like they're the same, but the head is what sets them apart. So the minim has a white head. It also has a stem or a stick, just like the crochet has. But the difference is the white note head. So take note of that whenever you see it. Now look at the difference. Look at just the difference. This is the crochet, which is the quarter note. This is the minim, the half note. And so this is the quaver, the 8th note. This is the crochet, the, the quarter note. So these are done so that you take a very good look at them and note the differences. And so from there, we went to semi-brief. Semi-brief in the contemporary music today is the longest note ever today. So the semi-brief is twice as long as minims. So you have 2 minims in a semi-brief, 4 crochets in a semi-brief, 8 quavers in a semi-brief. And so that is why the quaver is called 8th note. 8th note, because in a semi-brief you have 8 of quavers in it. And then, see, Brother Keshuku, the noise is coming from your end. Okechukwu,
I'm listening.
Brother Okechukwu Adibe. Please, can you mute yourself? I really don't want to be ejecting people from the class. That's what I should be doing. If the noise is coming from your end and is disturbing us, but I don't want to send you out, please. Please always mute your microphone. Brother, mute your microphone. So let's go back to what we are doing. Now I was telling you about the reasons why those names are the way they are. The 8th note, the quaver, the 8th note, the quaver, got its name from the fact that you have 8 of it in a semi-brief. And so also now you look at this music note tree. This is the semi-brief. This what you have here now are the minims. 1 minim here, 1 minim here. So 2 minims equal a semi-brief. 4 crochets equal a semi-brief. So 4 crochets, and it is called quarter notes. That day I used an orange, a whole orange. When you bring a whole orange, you divide it into 2. That each of the 2 equal parts can be likened to a minim. Now, when you put those 2 together again and you divide them into further by 2, which makes it 4 parts now, you have a crochet. So that's why the crochet is referred to as the quarter note, because you have 4 of it in a semi-brief. Now the 8th note, the quiver, you have 8 quavers in a semi-brief, and this is the 16th note, semi-quavers. You have 16 semi-quavers in a semi-brief. You have 8 semi-quavers, 2 semi-quavers in a quiver. You have 4 semi-quavers in a crochet. You have 8 semi-quavers in a half note, that's the meaning. And again, you have 16 semi-quavers in a semi-brief. And so I try to, because somebody with a brilliant mind might ask, why then is the semi-brief called a semi? Because if it is semi, that means that it is not the end. Something bigger than that must be ahead of it. Yes, there was a note that, is called brief. And the brief is just drawn just like the semi-brief, but by the side, 2 sides of it, the left side of it and the right-hand side of it, something like an eye, or, a straight line, is a vertical line, just standing, will be placed by each side of it. That makes it different. So, but it is no longer in vogue. They don't use it again in music today. So that is why you don't see a semi-brief in any music notes today, in any music sheet today. What you see as the highest or the longest note is the whole note. So this is the diagram that covers everything that I have spoken about in this music notes type. All right. So that is it, by the way. And so from here we went to what we did last week. That is now relating the notes and giving them the time that is appropriate. And so I gave out an assignment based on that, how we can sound the meaning, for instance, how long we can hold the meaning for, or how long we can hold the crochet for, how long we can hold the quiver, the semi-quiver for. I don't know if I showed you a semi-quiver, but a semi-quiver is just like a quiver, but the difference is that it has double flags. It has double tail. Let me quickly show you that, please. A semi-quiver. Okay. So let's do that quickly. Semi-quiver. All right. This is the semi-quiver slideshow. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, sir.
Very good. So here we have the semi-quiver. The semi-quiver is just the same thing almost with the quiver. It has a black note head, it has a stem, but it now has double flags or double tails. So that sets it apart. Look at the comparison here. This is the quiver, this is the semi-quiver. So that is the uniqueness, and it is called the 16th note. And sometimes you can see something like this joined. This, we have not dealt on beamed notes, but when you see notes joined together like this, tied together like this, the flags coming together to form 2 straight lines. What you have here are just 2 semi-quavers. So we can also join 2 or more semi-quavers together, just like what you have seen here. All right, so that is it, by the way. So last time we dealt with
sorry, sir.
okay, sir.
When you join like that, what do you call that?
Beamed note, beamed. They are beamed. I just said that, but we have not.
Okay.
We have not dealt on that before. Okay. You didn't hear me mention that. I said that, sir, that they are beamed. You can beam semi-quiver. You can also beam quavers. You can connect. Sometimes in a music note you can see 4 of them, or even more of that, coming together. And because of that flag connection, semi-quavers and quavers can also be beamed together. In the process of the class, you will begin to see the examples on beamed notes. All right. So last week we had the assignment. Let me see if I can pull it up. The assignment on how to, the lesson on how to sound the notes, how the notes relate with themselves. And I gave an assignment to us, and some persons actually did so well. Some also tried. I want to say that some tried. Let me just a few minutes, please. Oh. Okay. Hmm.
Hey.
Hmm. Who is that? Ooh. Seems like I've removed it because I had to claim my system. I had to claim my system. Okay. Something we can also, let me just bring something up now so that we can look at it together. It's actually very important. That is the core of what you are doing. I told the people around, and I want to repeat it, please. There is no point. It is getting to the point where some persons may think it is becoming too strong or too confusing. Now, this is where many people miss it. This is where some persons will give up. But I want to plead with you, please don't give up. Don't give up. If you don't give up here, if you pass this place, every other thing is possible. And there is
So we
no
are not
reason.
giving up. Oh.
Huh?
We are not giving up. We are with you. Me,
Amen.
Benedicta, is with you.
Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I want to encourage everyone to stick to this. We will do it. Just tell yourself that you can do it. So, for instance, I want to we are working on Kisi. Kisi. I will display my screen for you. So I'm coming. All right. So can you see my screen? Seems my screen is already shared. Are you seeing my screen?
Yes, but we are seeing your picture. We are seeing you.
Okay, you are seeing me, not my screen.
Not
Yes.
his screen.
All right. Okay, so let's look at this. You need to pay very close attention to see it.
Okay, I see the
Okay,
screen.
I see it now.
All right. So now you have you have 4 crochets at the beginning. 4 crochets here. So I want to ask Juliet Okoye. Okay, let me put the notes. Okay, do re mi fa. Okay. Juliet, why did you shout? Hey.
That assignment took me.
Okay, who can sing these 4 notes for me based on what we have done so far? Who can sing these 4 notes for me? Those that were here.
Now, is it the first
Me,
one?
sir.
The one you
Yes,
said?
that the one I circled.
Me, sir. I can sing it.
Okay. Okay, Juliet, you are trying something. Can I hear you?
Do,
It's me.
Okay.
Do,
re,
re,
mi,
mi,
fa.
Mi, fa,
do, re,
do,
mi,
fa.
Okay, thank you. Can I hear Joy? Can I hear you now? Joy Shinwike.
Do, sir. Do, le, mi, fa.
The last one. Just give everyone
Okay,
the
okay.
appropriate
They are
time.
normal. Okay.
Yes.
Do, le, mi, fa.
Okay,
You
cool.
don't
Good.
let it.
Do,
Do,
do
re,
re mi
mi,
fa.
fa.
do,
Okay.
re, mi, fa.
Do,
Now,
re, mi, fa.
can you now give me?
Do, re.
Can you sing it together with the following
Do,
line?
re, mi, fa.
do,
Do,
le, mi, fa. Do, le, mi, fa.
fa.
Okay, the space. Do, re, mi,
Excuse me,
fa.
sir.
Okay.
Do, re,
What
Okay,
I'm
hold on.
observing
Mi,
there, is
mi,
it the
fa.
space?
Hold on now. Let me take question. Ngozi, you're asking question.
It's
Sister
Benedicta.
Ngozi.
Sir, it's not me. I'm just
It's
singing.
Benedicta
Okay.
Igwe that is asking question.
Okay, now everybody mute yourself. Mute yourself now. Let me hear the question.
I say, what you want them to observe there? Is it the space in between do, re, mi, fa?
No, the sounding of the notes. The
Okay,
sounding
the standing of the notes.
the duration of each note.
Okay.
Okay, so everybody now listen to me and look at these notes here. The first one I circled with red.
Mm.
Are 4 crochets. Now the second place I circled with
Yellow.
blue.
Okay,
Blue
blue.
are 4 minims. Now followed by the next one I circled with yellow.
Yellow.
Those have
semi-favor.
4 quavers and 2 crochets. Now
Crochet.
the fourth one in green. The fourth one in green has 2 minims. And then the last one has the one in turquoise has 2 minims. I mean 1 minim and 2 crochets.
2 quadrants.
So now when you look at it now and hold on, just hold on. Don't sing, please. Pay attention. when I was defining or explaining the note relationship, I said that in a quiver, in a crochet, you have 2 quavers. In a minim, you have 2 crochets. 2 crochets. Then in a minim as well, you have 4 semiquavers. So now, when we are to sing this note, do re mi fa, which is this here. What? Please, the favor you will do for me is to mute yourself, please. Mute yourself. I don't want to be I don't want to be drastic. Please mute yourself. Yes. Thank you very much. So when you are singing, normally the crochet is considered a walking note. The quiver is considered as the running note. Now, so it means it's like when you are walking with a child, you may take one step, and for that child to match your step, she will have to take two steps. You have taken one step, and that child takes 2 steps to meet up with the space you have covered while walking. And so also between a crochet and a quiver, it is the same thing. It is simply applicable that way. Between a crochet and a minim, it is the same that way. Between a minim and a semi-breve, it is the same. Now, so when you want to sing the other one, okay, for the sake of those of you that were not here last time, just make a mental picture of what you have here now. Just do a mental picture of what you have here. And I want to share my camera so that you can see me now. So that you can see me, I will come back to continue where we are. So where you have 4 crochets, I did the other time I said, look at your 4 fingers as the 4 crochets. Consider each of your fingers as a crochet, each of the fingers as a crochet. Now, when you are singing, and you are singing like that, do, re, mi, fa, you sing do, re, mi, fa, do, re, mi, fa. You see, I am apportioning at least 1 second per note, 1 second per crochet. Now, if I am to sing 2 minims, if I'm apportioning 1 second per crochet, that means that I will spend 4 seconds singing these 4 notes here. Do, re, mi, fa. But I sung them 4 times. Now, if I have 2 minims, 2 minims must also cover the same time duration that I used in singing 4 crochets. If I'm making sense, please say yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you. You can mute yourself now. Now, so if I used 4 seconds in singing 4 crochets, I must use 4 seconds, the same 4 seconds to sing 2 minims, because 2 minims are equal to 4 crochets. So it is like saying I am 40 years old and I have, 2 persons that if you bring them together before they will match my age, you must bring them 20 years old. So a minim is double a crochet, just as a 40-year-old is double the age of a 20-year-old person. Now, so when I am to sing do and re of 2 minims, remember, in singing a crochet, I did it this way. Do, re, mi, fa, do, re, mi, fa. But in singing 2 minims, that let's say they are do and re, it must come like this. Do, re. Let me do it again. do, re. So you see that my do, I stretched it to cover the space for the 2 crochets, even though I maintained that singular sounding of the note do, re. Whereas while I was singing a crochet, I do, re, I, it can be like do, re, do, re.
Hey. Okay, Joy should be okay. What happened?
Can you see me?
No.
Can you see me, please?
Sir, what's
Yes.
happening?
We are seeing Pastor Sonny.
I'm seeing Joy Chibike's name. I don't know what.
You are blessed. So.
Yeah, you are blessed.
I don't know.
All right. Can you see me?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Can
Very
see you.
good. The thing went off. I don't know what happened. It went off. Okay. So welcome back.
Yes, sir.
So Fumilayo, can you hear me? She has not properly connected. All right. So I was saying that if I did 4 crochets with maybe do, re, mi, fa, do, re, mi, fa, or you count 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, when it comes to the meaning, and you want to maintain the same time because you've been given 2 minims and 4 crochets, the time you allotted to singing the 4 crochets must be the same number of time you allot to singing the 2 minims. And so instead of singing 1, 2, 3, 4, what is given to you because of the techniques in singing it, you will only be able to sing 1 and 2, do and re, you know. Now, so when you sing do, re, mi, fa, you're singing a minim is now will be do, re. So if probably you have a do, re, mi, fa, a minim, that means you are going to cover times 2. That's 2 bars. It will not be do, re, mi, fa. So going back to what I shared with you before, we look at it again. So here we have can you see the screen?
Yes,
Yes, I
sir.
hope.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So let me circle it again. Then you have this. So in singing this now, I'm going to sing everything together now. So you see how it goes. But let me give them names. Re, mi, fa, do, re, mi, fa. Now, I would like you to pay close attention to this now and see the difference. Now, if you look at this place here and this place, now you see that between here and here, hold on. Okay. So can you see the blue and the red that I circled?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. So they are both do re mi fa, do re mi fa. But when you are going to sing them, because the notes are not the same thing in size, if you look properly, you would discover that these notes here, these four notes here, do you see this black line here?
Yes, sir.
My arrow, the red arrow down.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
The red arrow down is
Yes,
Yes, sir.
sir.
pointing to the in a particular line in
Yes.
between the four crochets and the four meanings.
Do.
But you look at
Yes.
that of the meaning, you see that the meaning covered from this line, it passed this line here.
Okay.
You not like it. Oh, piano. Cooking, but I've never tried it.
Yeah, sorry, I was having issues with my connection, so I had to see what the problem was. Okay. I have to go back to share the screen again with you because I got disconnected.
Sir, please, volume. Oh.
Go inside.
That boy.
Give me that. So I was trying to show you something here. Between
Yes, let's go. Let's watch that different.
This how everybody they show their face. It's happening.
Pastor Sonny, good evening, sir.
How's the family?
We thank God, sir.
Okay. Please, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I told you I'm not in Lagos. I'm in the village.
Yeah,
But
where?
I'm in the village.
Jesus Christ of Nazareth.
Yes. So I am.
Hey, Ayaki Jiwaye.
Yeah. So I know I just have to do this. So I'm trying to put everything, do everything
Hey,
that is as possible as I can, so that we can have the class. So that is why the thing is going off and on. All right.
okay.
So bear with me. Sister Ifani, Alu, I can see you. God bless you. God bless you. All right.
Hello, sir.
So
Please, volume, please.
volume. Can you can you hear me now? I think.
I'm hearing you very well.
Okay, Sister Rose,
Sir.
put on your camera. Let me see you. Let me see why you cannot hear me. Just on your camera first. Let me see you. You're not using earpiece. If
No.
your speaker is not loud, you can use earpiece, or you can use something like this. You connect something like this to your phone externally, so you can hear. All right.
I can't
But can
see
you
you.
hear
I
me
can't
now?
hear anything. Oh,
Sir, I was
I
hearing
can't
you
hear.
very
When...
clearly. I don't know what happened again.
Okay,
Hello,
just keep.
Bruno.
Yes.
Hello, Bruno. I can't see anything.
You can't see
Connect your
anything.
earpiece. Are you not hearing him?
I can't see anything.
If you can't,
On your this thing now, your video.
I on it. It's on, but I can't see anything.
but can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I think it is more important than seeing me now. So if you can hear me, fine. Okay.
Right? Pastor Sonny.
Hey, oh, Sister Bella.
Good evening, Mal. This class is very, very
So
sweet.
if
I
you
have
if
missed
you
a lot.
cannot
Oh.
see me and you want to see me, maybe something is wrong with your connection. Just go out and come back.
I should go
Leave the
out.
class and come back. If you can't hear me as well,
I
you
say
may leave the
today that
class
I'm
and come
cooking
back, because
soup.
my
Oh.
camera is on.
Okay.
If you can't hear
My
me,
able
leave the
leader.
class and come back. If you can't see
My
me,
able
leave the
leader.
class and come back.
My able leader.
Okay.
Hmm?
The issue that I'm
Sister, you
cooking
people are
soup.
making noise now.
So can you mute yourself now, so that we'll go back to what we are doing now? Mute yourselves. I was trying to share my screen with you before it went off that time. So let's quickly do that again now.
Okay.
So I was trying to
Let me take my soup.
so here you have, from this end to this end, you have 4 crochets. But between this place to this place, you have, see, if you look properly, you will see something. If you look very closely, let me change the color. If you look closely, you see that there is a line here. So between here and here, you have, a line. Now between here and here, you have 2 lines, but the same number of notes, 4 minims, 4 crochets. So what it's telling you is that the minims are superior in size to the crochets. So now, in singing them, I'm going to sing it now to you. I'm going to sing it to you now, but let me append the notes. Tell me you can see what I do now. If you can see
Yes.
them.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, son of the prophet. Very good. So you see now. So in singing the crochet, the 4 crochets. Look at it now. Do, re, mi, fa. Do, re, mi, fa. But when we just listen first before we sing together. Well, when we oh my God, who is that? Mute yourselves. I don't want to throw somebody out of the class, please. Now, when we are to sing from this end to this end, where my arrow ends, where my arrows end, you have do, re, mi, fa, do, re, mi, fa. So it means that in my singing the 4 minims, compared to the time I sung the 4 crochets, if I spent 4 seconds singing the 4 crochets, I spent 8 seconds singing the 4 minims. This is the clearest way I can explain this. And because I'm trying to make it as clear as possible. So I want Julia to hear him to sing from that beginning to the end of the arrow. Unmute yourself, Julia, to hear him and sing.
Hey, I've taken my life.
Do, re, mi, fa. Do, re, mi, fa.
God bless you. Now you can go and take cold water from your fridge and drink. That's my gift for you. Go and take cold water and drink from your fridge now. All right. Now, so when we move on now, in this place you have now you have, look at that, those 4 quavers. Yeah, so hold on, please. So fa, mi, re, do. Okay, so if you look at the four quavers, we have 2 crochets in this line here. In this line here, we have 4 crochets in this line here. Let me still do something here. This place now. Within this space here, you have 4 quavers and 2 crochets. Now let me tell you that the value of notes here, there you have 6 notes here. The value of these 6 notes here is the same thing with the value of the notes in from the first 4 crochet that we sing. That number 1, that in number 1 bar, this is called bar, but I'm not calling it bar now because I've not taught you about that. So, but in this number 1 bar, the value of the notes here are the same with the value of the notes in number 4 bar number 4. Please, if you understand, tell me yes.
Yes.
Very good. So now, when singing the 4 quavers and 2 crochets, now let's do it this way again that I told you you consider your 4 fingers as the 4 crochets. Hold on. Your 4 fingers as the 4 crochets. Now, in singing those 4 quavers will only take your 2 fingers, so that you have the remaining 2 fingers for the remaining 2 crochets. So what you have is actually five saws. Sorry, please. Oh. So here you have another saw. Okay, just for the sake of time, please. Now you have 5 saw, but what I wrote here is 4. So add it mentally, in your brain. So the 4 quavers are 4 saws. One of the crochet is 1 saw and then fa. Now I said in singing the 4 quavers, you must sing them with the time allotted to 2 fingers as your 2 crochets. So it goes like this. It goes like. Can you see me? No, you cannot see me.
Yes, sir. We are seeing you.
Okay, are you seeing my fingers?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then are you seeing the screen also that I shared?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good, very good. So now my fingers are, it goes this way. So. Look at it again. Let me remove my 2 fingers. Now these are 2. These are 2. I've eliminated my 2 fingers so that you will see how I will allot the 4 quavers will take the time duration of 2 crochets. So in sounding the 4 saws, the 4 saw notes, you are singing it this way: saw, 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 saw. But it is on a crochet, you sing saw, saw. Now, so I'm going to sing all the notes within that space. Now, the 5 saw and 1 fa, it goes this way: so, 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 fa, mi. So, 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 fa, mi. So, 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 fa, mi. Good. Now, the difference now, listen. The difference now is,
Let's listen
no,
to
no, 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 no. Hold on. I made a mistake. What you have there is, so, I said, hold on.
You said 5.
What you have
We're
there
having
is,
4, yes, sir.
yes. I made a mistake there. So the saw should be 5 and
Yes, sir.
1 fa within that space. So it should be so, 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 fa. So, 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 fa. So, crochet, and the fa is a crochet. The first 4 notes, 4 quavers are the first 4 saw are quavers. So in singing quavers, let me rephrase. You must use, if you are singing a crochet within 1 second, you must sing 2 quavers within 1 second. If you are singing 2 crochets within 2 seconds, you must finish 4 quavers within 2 seconds. So let's say that the 4 notes, the 4 quiver notes that are equal to 2 crochets, I'm singing them under 2 seconds, the same as if I'm singing 2 crochets. So it will go thus: so, 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 so. Now singing the 6 notes there now with the 2 crochets. Now the 4 quavers and 2 crochets. It goes this way: so, 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 fa. Now if I'm to sing everything there, I will sing plus the, if I sing it to the end now, what you have is so, 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 fa, mi, re, do, do, do.
My leader.
Yes. If you have a question, ask me.
I don't understand that place you are. The network is not. If you're counting, it's not really giving out what you're counting for.
You can articulate it again with whenever the sound comes, you can articulate it. I'm trying to be consistent with the sounding. I know that the network can be an issue, but if you can hear me, it's okay.
Please, my leader.
Yes,
My leader.
I can hear you.
Please help me say good evening to Sister Juliet. She's very, very angry with me.
We will do that later, but now we're in a class. So mute yourselves now, except you have a question to ask. Now, Juliet, can you did the other one the other time and you got it? Can you?
This one now, I did not getting it.
Yes.
Now you see the difference between the way we sung the Quavers and the way we sung the Quavers and the crochet, and also between the way we did the. Let me stop sharing first and come back. Now the difference between how we sung the Quavers and the crochet is also the same thing. Like when you want to sing the crochet and the meaning. The crochet and the meaning. You sung, for instance, this is my 4 fingers. You have 4 crochets. Now you sung do, re, mi, fa. When you are singing meaning, it is do, re, right?
Yeah.
Now the only difference now is that when you are singing crochet and quaver, still have that idea in your head. But it is only that when we now come to tempo, the quiver is faster than the crochet, and the crochet is faster than the meaning. But it is still the same ideology used in singing do, re, mi, fa as in crochet, and then do, re as the meaning. So when you have 4 quavers and 2 crochets, and you sung the quavers as do, re, mi, fa, do, re, mi, fa, do, re, mi, fa, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la. So if you use that idea you used in singing the 4 crochets and the 2 meanings to sing for me the 4 quavers and the 2 crochets is the same thing. It's only that when now you have all of the notes together, you must be able to determine the time you will give to the meaning, the crochet, quiver, and all that. So the techniques is the same thing, because it's just that you have 2 quavers in a crochet, and so also that same way you have 2 crochets in a meaning. So if you are singing a crochet in 1 second, you will sing 2 quavers in 1 second. If you're singing a meaning in 2 seconds, you must sing 2 crochets in 2 seconds. So the difference is the same. It's only the application that differs. I take you back to that place. I remember that last week we did, maybe I should share that video with you again. Hope I still have the video. Let me share the video. I still have the video. Let's check. Hold on, let me find out if I still have the video. I hope I still do. Oh, thank God. Okay. If you can see this screen now, the video screen, let me know if you can see this, the new screen. I want to be sure you are seeing it before I start to share it, to play it.
We are seeing it.
Okay, you can see my picture, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now listen to this. Listen. This is the movement of crochets. Who is making noise now? Whose background is making noise? Oh my. You know, I'm trying to be very, very lenient. It's not everybody that can take this. Once you are making noise, you are distracting everybody in the class. And the normal thing that should be done to you is to throw you out of the class. I don't want to do that, please. Mute yourself, mute your microphones. Mute your microphones. Sister Glory Sima, mute your microphone.
Remove it and put come. Remove it. Fast, fast.
Do, re, mi, fa, do, re, mi, fa, do, re, mi, fa. So what you just heard is the movement of the crochets. The next time, just listen now as I combine it together with the quavers. Do, do, re, re, mi, fa, fa, That was the movement of the quavers. So together now, listen as you hear it together with the crochet. The crochet and the quavers sung together. Okay. Since we have a video, on this, I will encourage you go back and watch it. That is actually the new this thing I want us to go to now. We've done close to 20 minutes on this now. So I mean close to 90 minutes on just going back to old studies. So I did this in order to refresh our memories, and then for those of us that are joining us for the first time, so that you can have a feel of what we've done. We have all the videos available to you on YouTube. Even this one now, this class now, is live on YouTube. So you can gain access to it anytime you want to and watch them. So let us quickly look at this before we call it a day. We want to look at the rest. I'm sharing my screen with you. But before I share my screen with you, let me tell you what it is all about. Now, the rest, in music theory, rests are symbols which tell you to stop playing and how long to stop for. Rests come in different shapes depending on how long they last for, just like notes do. Rests take the same names as the notes of the same length. Now, what this simply means is that when you come in music, there are places where you will find some symbols, and that symbols will tell you that this place, for this number of time, you have to be silent. If you are singing, you have to be silent. Sometimes it might be applicable to just your part. It might be applicable to the other person's part, and it's not applicable to you. So those things are very important to note. So when you have a rest placed in a strategic point in the music sheet, the shape of that rest will tell you for how long you are going to hold the rest, for how long you're going to be silent, for how long you're going to stop doing whatever you were doing before you got to that point. So just like we have the notes, the rest also takes their names from the notes. We have semi-brief rest, for instance. We have minim rest. We have crochet rest. We have quaver rest. We have semi-quaver rest. But their shapes are not the same as the notes itself. So I'm going to share the screen with you now, how they basically look like. So here we have so here you have these rest shapes. Now, first and foremost, we're looking at the crochet rest. Remember that the crochet is called the quarter note by Americans. And
I kept quiet for a long time.
Sister Glory, I will remove you from this
I
class.
decided not to say anything. Nothing. Until he got rid of me like I was garbage. He did everything for the American dream. I think he knows. And I left.
So look at the crochet rest. Please, this is where I need you to talk now. If you can see the screen, just say yes and mute yourself back. Or mute yourself and answer.
Yes, sir.
Can you see this? Okay, very good.
Yes, sir.
So this is the crochet rest.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Now the crochet rest, you know, that is why there is no stopping point in gaining knowledge. Before today, I've been actually seeing, this is the one you have been seeing as a crochet note, a crochet rest. If you see this one, if you, maybe some of us that think we know music, if you see this one, you may think that this is a Quaver Rest, but it's not a Quaver Rest. It is another way of writing, of drawing the crochet rest. This is the one that most of us know, and most applications, music writing applications, he has. This is it, this one here. But this is the other way of writing it, drawing it. So in case maybe you are writing a piece of music and you find this one difficult for you to draw, if you draw something like this, I'm going to show you the difference between this and that of the Quaver Rest. So whenever you see something like this, it is a crochet rest. And this one that looks like R, the small letter R, this is the crochet rest as well. Now, so in observing a rest, you also observe the same number of time you give a crochet note is the same number of time you give a crochet rest. So if you are using 1 second to sing a crochet note, when you see a crochet rest, you will give it 1 second also. So that 1 second means you are resting. You are not doing anything. You are not singing. You are not, if you are playing, you must observe that 1 second of silence before you continue doing what you are doing. Now, so whether you see this one or you see this one here, they are all basically the same thing. So now take a look at this Quaver Rest. Did you see it is similar to the second crochet rest I showed you, the one that is like R, like letter R, the small letter R?
This one is different.
But this one now is like 7. This one is like 7. So the other one, you know, it was facing right. The Quaver Rest is facing left. You know, so the like it says that the Quaver Rest looks a bit like a number 7 with a circle at its tip. If you look again at the easy crochet rest, you will notice that it is, in fact, a back to front Quaver Rest. So that's easy to draw crochet rest that I call, like I say, is like an R. It's just an opposite of this Quaver Rest. So the Quaver Rest is facing left. The crochet easy to draw is facing right. That is the difference. So before I leave here, I show you the semi-Quaver Rest. Just like you have in the notes that the Quaver note has 1 flag or 1 tail, but the semi-Quaver note has 2 flags or 2 tails. So also in their rest, the semi-Quaver rest is also having two of this, what do we call it now? Circle. Two of these flags here is 2. Quaver is 1. Semiquaver is 2. In their notes, a quaver has 1 flag or 1 tail, and the semiquaver has 2 flags and 2 tails. So the Quaver Rest looks a bit like a number 7 with a circle at its tip. If you look again at the easy crochet rest, you'll notice that it is, in fact, a back to front Quaver Rest. So that is recapping what I said earlier. Now, but the semi-Quaver Rest looks a lot like the Quaver Rest, but it's got 2 tails, just like the semi-Quaver note has. All right? Now, so before I go to minim and semi-brief rest, please, do you understand my explanation in the 3 notes that we've considered their rest now?
Yes, sir.
Very good. That was coming from Joy. If you have any question about those, please ask me now before I move on. Okay. I want to believe we understood that. So here you have the minim rest. Take a look at the semi-brief rest. Downward this screen. Can you see the semi-brief rest?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, can somebody tell me the difference? You know, they are the same. They are basically the same, but something makes them different. Can you look at it look at the 2 pictures very well and tell me what you find out?
Yes, sir. The mini rest.
One is on top, another is
On
under.
top of the third line.
And they're not in the same line.
Very good. So the basic way to explain it is that the minim rest is sitting on the 3rd line.
Yes.
Facing the 4th line. So it is placed in the 3rd space. Both of them are placed in the 3rd space, but the semi-brief rest is hanging on the 4th line, facing the 3rd line. Okay? So that is basically the difference. You need to memorize this. You need to, because if you don't memorize it, you won't remember. If you don't know, you will misappropriate it. The minim is hanging on top. I mean, it's sitting and facing up, whereas the semi-brief is hanging on the top, facing the 3rd line. Sister Joy, this noise is coming from your end. Joy Shinwike, please mute
Okay, I'm
yourself
sorry,
now.
sir.
Thank you. All right. So the minim rest, I repeat, is a small colored in block. The minim rest sits on the middle line of the staff, whereas the semi-brief rest is hanging and facing the 3rd line on the staff. These are just the difference, nothing more than that. But what you need to know is that when we are observing rest, is as the same thing as when we are singing. The difference is that when we are observing rest, that time of observing rest is a time of silence. If all the parts are to observe a semi-brief rest at a particular point in the music piece, it means that when the choir gets to that place, everybody must observe that whole note rest, which is 4 beats, 1, 2, 3, 4, before the choir restarts again. You know, some in most cases, all these things you are seeing as we sing, even while you are singing in your house, you are putting all these things you are learning, you know, in the songs you sing, even the choruses you sing, but you don't know. You know, you sing, you rest, you start again. It's just like that. But that is why the knowledge of these things is very, very important. Okay, so before we call it a day tonight, I want to take your questions. If you have questions, ask me before we go off for tonight. If you have a question, unmute yourself. I will be sending an assignment to you in the WhatsApp group. But if you have a question, ask me now. Unmute yourself. If you have a question.
I don't understand Quaver and
you don't understand Quaver.
The new Quaver Rest.
Quaver Rest. Quaver Rest was the one that I showed you. Is it Quaver Note or Quaver Rest, please?
Quaver Rest. Semi-Quaver and crochet. I'm still confused.
Taking us back, oh.
Let me get your question, please. Is this semi-Quaver you don't understand all the rest that I talked about now? We have Quaver, we have semi-Quaver, we have crochet. Which of the rest don't you understand? Or you don't understand any of the rests?
No.
Sister Ngozimba, hold on. I don't know if it's my network or your own. I can't hear you any longer.
Semi-Quaver and Quaver.
Okay, please, can you repeat yourself? I think it's clearer now.
I said I didn't understand the Quaver, no, the meaning. Sorry, semi-Quaver, crochet and Quaver.
If I tell you you're confusing me now, it will sound. You started with Quaver to semi-Quaver and now to meaning. I don't know.
I said crochet, Quaver and semi-Quaver.
You don't understand the rest. So let me show you again.
Yes, sir.
You don't understand the difference in their shapes, right?
Yes, yes.
Thank you. I will take you back to the place now.
Okay.
I told you we have, this is basically what, can you see my screen now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Sister Ngozimba, I need you to answer now. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Can you see my mouse? My mouse, you see where it is hovering? Can you see my mouse? I'm waiting for you. Okay, maybe I should highlight it.
I'm seeing it.
You're seeing it. I'm sure you can see it now. So you can see crochet rest. You see the right up here, crochet rest, right? Now, in our contemporary music sheets, this is what you may always find there. This is the popular crochet rest. Very good. Now, you know, before we have computer applications that writes music, people have been using their hands to draw all those shapes. So in some music piece, you may see this one again, this one here. Can you see my mouse?
Yes.
All right. Now the difference between this one, this is also a crochet rest, but the difference is that it is looking like a small letter R. In a small letter R, the flag of the R goes towards your right.
Okay.
It is facing the right. This thing that is like a dot with a hook. This hook here.
Yes.
You know, they call this one. They call it easy to draw. This one is easier to draw than this one here.
Okay.
The second one is easier if you are drawing it. If you are using your hand to write the music and you want to draw a rest, this one is easier to draw than this one here that is looking like, I don't know what I'll call it now. Now, so if you see it drawn facing the right, it is still the same thing as this first one, the one you know that you say is very popular. Now, if you compare it with the Quaver Rest now, look at the Quaver Rest. The Quaver Rest is facing left, whereas the easy to draw crochet rest is facing right. So it is basically, if you turn this Quaver Rest now, if you turn this side facing left, if you turn it over to face right, it automatically becomes a crochet rest. You get it now? Now, now the semi-quiver now is just that you add another of this flag to make it 2. So, so you understand it now?
Yes, 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 sir.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, sir.
God bless you. So any other question? Bless you too, my dear. God bless you. Any other question? Okay. Seems there's no other question.
Sir, please, I have a question.
All right, ask me.
When we do the assignment, how are we going to submit it?
Yes, you are going to see the type of, if it's the one that you are going to sing for me, you will record it and send the note direct to me. If it's the one that you're going to write, it's one that you're going to write, you write it on your sheet of paper, give the answer on your sheet of paper, and snap it, and send to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
God bless you.
Funke, you came late.
Sir, come and join me. I want to eat.
Funke, thank you. Funke Oyakilome, you came late.
Yeah.
Okay, Juliet, you have a question?
I don't have question because my network was just disturbing me. I don't even understand. But
This is your network again today.
The thing is even disturbing
Okay,
me. I don't know.
don't worry, try and watch the video. You try and watch the video, it will be better, okay?
Okay.
So we will be ending the class tonight here. And hopefully by the grace of God, I will be seeing you again on Sunday night. Same time.
Okay, remember, when are you coming back?
I don't know yet.
Yay.
I came
when you are coming, bring mango for us.
Okay, you will give me the address of your village, so I will not get it there because it's not here.
Problem.
So thank you, everybody. Sister Ifanyalu, God bless you for coming today. Sonny, I see you today.
Prophet, thank you very much.
Fumilayo,
Thank you, sir.
you came in late, or you are here today. Glory,
Sir, I can't even see you.
You can't see me.
But we are seeing you now.
So, what you watch the class? Watch the class again on YouTube. I will send the link to the WhatsApp group. So watch it on YouTube again.
Okay, sir.
I encourage those of you that came late, and even if you came in early but you don't understand what we did, please watch the class again on YouTube. And just a bit of encouraging the channel, just subscribe to the channel. Please subscribe. Press that button. Press the subscribe letter you see on the YouTube channel, and then select the bell icon. When you press the bell icon, select all, so that immediately the video is on YouTube, you will get the prompting. You receive the link immediately, so you don't even need me sending it again to the WhatsApp group. Once it is uploaded there, you will just receive an alert that The video is there, so you can always go there and watch it. I encourage you, please watch it. Watch it. It will help you. Thank you, everybody, and
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you, sir. Good
God
night.
bless
Thank you,
Have
sir.
a
Good
nice
night.
evening.
you too. Bye.
Sir.
All right.
Good night.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Thank you.